Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our lovely. I'm great at sentences. CIL tournament today, as we will be playing with ASU versus PSU. That would be Arizona State University versus, I believe, Pennsylvania State. Should be an interesting match to see. Any thoughts? Oh yeah, sorry. Also joined here with Enrage, and you have any thoughts on this match?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be a really good one. Invite League's always been a pretty good showing. We've got two of our top teams here. Arizona State coming in strong last season. Hopefully, they can bring that same force into this season. They've had some change-ups on their roster, as has PSU. They both were very, very strong teams. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
definitely going to be interesting because especially with this new year coming, a lot of old players have graduated or stepped away from the team. So it's going to be interesting to see how the previous top teams are able to adapt after losing some of their members.
Absolutely, yeah. And I mean, we're seeing them start off here on Consulate. I mean, that's definitely a knowledge based map. So this will be a very good way for us to see just how much they have changed their strategies or how exactly they work as a team.
Yeah, it's going to be quite an interesting match. I'm not too familiar on how both teams usually do on this map, but I assume by around half point it'll be kind of clear if one team's more knowledgeable than the other.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty reasonable. I I believe ASU has 3 new members on their team. I see unless there were some Uplay name changes, I believe 4 new on PSU, although I can't be too certain. Looks like the teams are readying up here, so we're probably going to get started very quickly.
Yep, just in a small second as everything just gets nice and set up and cozy, and looks like the game has begun, and we will be going into ban phase.
Well, to start it off, we have ASU on attack, PSU on defense. That will be the same for the next few rounds until the switching point. Looks like PSU gets the first ban of the match.
And expecting some basic Blackbeard bans, as this map is very infamous with Blackbeard, as he is able to just take down the windows so well. It looks like we're going to see a Jackal ban as the first ban coming from PSU. Probably to get rid of the roaming or anti-roaming pressure that Jackal leaves with the stress of the pings just coming out constantly on you.
Absolutely. And Jackal's a pretty oppressive operator right now. The only real direct counter he has would be Kavera with her silent step, completely blocking footsteps. But other than that, and like you said, there's the Blackbeard ban. Very, very strong right now, especially with Upside Down Repel being as strong as it is, plus his notorious history on this map. Those shields very, very dangerous to peek against.
Yeah, for sure. The defense bans are going to get a little bit more interesting. As I imagine one of them is going to be Echo, and the other one, that's at the it could literally be anyone. As this map isn't too infamous with mirrors, so they might just let it slide. And Cade and characters like Cade and Bandit will be able to stop the hatches, so they're not bad bans either.
Yeah, I wouldn't, with Jackal being banned, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a roamer ban coming out for the last one, although definitely gonna be really anyone on the board. Hard to determine. Legion's a pretty solid choice there, actually. Yeah, being able to deny those pushes into sight is a very strong ability, not to mention his soft roam, or even if you want to play him hard roam, gives him a lot of flexibility as an operator.
Yeah, he's a very all-rounded character. You could pretty much pull him out in any single situation, and he'll always be a good pick. Pretty good thing to ban if you want to get some nuisance out of the way.
PSU starting off here with a second floor hold, a pretty standard starting site. Overall, usually second floor, sometimes into basement, then offices. It really depends on what your hold's going to be.
Yeah, for sure. Looks like we're going to get the rosters picked out here, as we got a Castle, Mira, Valkyrie, Doc, and Jaeger on defenses. Pretty good defense comp, as you can get the Valkyrie cams outside to check for repels and let the roamers be able to just go in for a flank. But you're going to see the 6 pick off the Doc into a Maestro just to get that a little bit more nice cam coverage onto site, and get to keep ACOG at the same time as well.
Yeah, Maestro also adds the plant denial and anti-drone that they kind of need right now. The ADSs will definitely help to stop any sort of frags from Buck, any flashes from Thermite, track stingers, anything like that. However, the Buck will probably end up playing below, just trying to break open that floor or break open some walls from really wherever he can get a soft wall from, trying to get those long angles set up.
Yeah, the vertical play with maps like this could really come in clutch last second, as not too many people expect them, and there are some decent spots you could set up. Like, for example, inside of behind the CEO desk, you could set up from there, from beneath in a piano. And it's very easy spot to remember, as it's right close to the corner of the room. Interesting to see how this team decides to take on Consulate and set up for the defense.
PSU definitely seems to be focusing quite heavily on connector rotate. It seems like they're using a lot of utility to try to hold that down as much as possible.
Also interesting to see the ADS go down, and believe that would be break room there, as they also reinforce the wall. Probably going to try to hold off Admin from there and see if they can cause some havoc, at least for ASU on the way in.
Yeah, that Mira window by the bathroom is going to be interesting to see how that plays out. If the Thatcher manages to take, or IQ actually manages to take out the ADS covering it, that could be a very easy frag grenade for Buck.
Yeah, for sure. Looks like we're going to get the attacker starting to set up and get in positions, try to get some intel and get rid of some of the default cameras that are quite easy to shoot from the outside, as you'll see seeing Thermite pelling onto the spiral and getting rid of that one cam up there.
Looks like the attackers aren't wasting any time trying to get inside the building. We've already got Buck tearing open the floor inside, getting some marks down from his allied drones.
Putting a lot of pressure, and I believe that would be bathroom, if I'm correct?
Yes.
Quite a good spot to get people out of, too, because it's just such a small little area to hold into, and the only thing letting them in and out is the window. It's going to create a lot of havoc, and I remember correctly, too, there's also a mirror window set up in there, so it's going to mess up their mirror strat.
Yeah, and it looks like Bud's already done a good job of clearing out bathroom. He knows that there's no one in there, so he's starting to make his way up on the second floor, trying to group up with his team a little bit, maybe get some more pressure up on second. Destroyer in a pretty unfortunate spot, having to play behind that solid wall as the first kill comes out, followed by a second. That's 2 off the board already.
And a third. It looks like we're going to see a small back again with 3 kills for ASU, as Armsa gets a double kill, and someone else gets the last one. It looks like they're just going to answer back immediately and show that they can indeed hold this site off from them as they try to push in.
D2 getting a little aggressive with the peek, not going to win that fight out. Zerfon right there to take the frag, back 2-2 left. Arms very uncomfortable spot right here. He's getting pushed from both sides. Mirror goes down.
Putting down some pressure, getting rid of the Velcams and shooting open the mirror window. Gonna start trying to push into A, as long desk might be a little bit of a risky thing to push up immediately, especially because he could just secure this bomb right here, as the other enemy is in Consulate over there, and I believe the last one would be in bathroom hall. And down goes the castle from Arms when Zerfon fires at him from the rotation call.
Looks like Destroyer is actually set up on the rotate, does manage to take out Zerfon very quickly. Nice shot there coming out, and Zerfon just a little bit too slow to react. Destroyer in a 1v1 does have the health advantage.
I believe his intel is gone too, so he's just gonna have to sneak up and hope that he could shoot first. And it looks like he's gonna go for the peek and immediately get the headshot onto Bud, taking the round for the defenders. PSU is gonna get round 1.
That was a really solid round from PSU. They had a pretty interesting site hold. They lost 2 people right away, but being able to take those 3 back with the help of Arms and Destroyer, really, really solid retake.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like now we're going to be going into round 2, as they're going to be forced to not go on to the second floor anymore, as they're going to be picking Garage Cafeteria, another standard site to be held.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be surprised to see a Bandit or Arcade coming out here. Trying to keep them off that garage wall. Looks like that's not actually going to be the case unless there's a 6 pick. Caveira coming out to try to scare off the attackers, make them waste some time on the roam game.
Yeah, especially because it'll also cause them to have to go in groups instead of split off solo into their own mission, as Caveira will be able to punish that quite easily, as she will be able to flank with their silent step and get the interrogation off.
Yeah. Switch on to Valkyrie, definitely a solid choice there, getting a bit more intel on the site. They only had Maestro previously.
Yeah, especially with the double strong roaming characters, it's seeming a little bit of overkill, and now this way they get really good intel to be able to tell what's going on. So Virtus defenders are going to start reinforcing off, as Valkyrie's going to be heading up to 3rd floor. It's like probably trying to get a cam outside, as she's going to be opening up the yellow stairs window. And also looks like one's going to be going outside of the front porch window here.
Yeah, just a quick remark. It's actually interesting to see ASU playing Gridlock. It's not really a very commonly seen operator. Granted, her assault rifle is definitely one of the strongest in the game at the moment.
Yeah, Gridlock's actually, in my opinion, a very underrated character, as a lot of people look at her and think to themselves that, you know, Nomad could do the same job, but it's potentially better. But at the same time, Gridlock can create a lot of fear just out of the mats being on the floor in the room. As now you're kind of just forced to just shoot every single one of them, install a lot more time than Air Jabber could potentially do. And it's also going to be kind of interesting here, because as you may have noticed earlier, the mirror was set up in bathroom, and looks like they're going to be pushing up very quickly, as no one's actually on the 1st floor, and actually instead holding the 2nd floor. Oh, actually, my apologies. There is the Jaeger roaming around yellow stairs, trying to see if he get the flank. Now sitting in piano. A little bit interesting here, because he also has the mirror window pointing right at him, so I would imagine he has to be a little bit afraid right now of that mirror window, because at any moment, they could just easily shoot him and kill him.
Yeah, double drones coming out as well. He's very much exposed. They know that he's playing just off of yellow stairs. Looks like he had enough time to rotate out and back up into the connector by long desk.
Valkyrie just...
Ooh,
it looks like the IQ was able to detect the Maestro from above and just one-tap him right in the head from above. Also, by VG getting the refrag right on back to the attackers, and also D2F taking down Alex.
Delaney's still roaming downstairs, as Cav did actually rotate down from the main lobby entrance. Looks like IQ getting a little bit aggressive with that peek, not going to turn out, instead getting taken out by Vidge. That will be a nice pick for them to have. Jaeger doesn't have to worry about his ADSs too much anymore. That's just going to be up to Firewall.
And now we're down to a 4v2 for attackers. And it's not looking too pretty, but this is never impossible to come back and get the rest of the kills going out. Just down to the Thatcher and Gridlock, two of probably the more supportive characters, so this might be a little bit more of a struggle than it usually could be. And also we're going to have Delaney just covering down the archive side, as Firewall is trying to push it down from main stairs, unknowing that there might be a cav coming from mine, but it looks like he's expecting a little bit, as he does try to peek the angle a little bit and try to see if the Caveira will run out at him.
Not sure if they saw the Cav playing inside of servers on that drone. Doesn't look so. Bach is not even looking that way. Does get tagged, but thinks it's from down by the pipes. That's unfortunate. Ooh, a trade coming out. PSU. Taking it again is Delaney with the double kill to finish off the round.
Yeah, well, very well played from the Cav. Just playing patiently, waiting for them to push up. And then right when they leave themselves exposed, Delaney just strikes in and just takes him out.
Yeah, and a very even kill distribution from PSU as well. All of the members contributing equally to kills across the board.
Looks like we're going to round 3 on lobby and instead of archives, as some people like going instead. It's gonna be interesting to see just how well they're able to hold this, as this is the 3rd site, and generally, especially on a map like this, you don't really have to get too much practice and trying to hold it, especially because the strategies are kind of also very few, as a lot of people just like holding 2nd floor off. It's
Yeah.
kind of this is still a very scary sight to be holding.
Lobby is one of those sites that you pretty much have to hold from offsite, with the exception of bathroom. You're going to be sending 2 or 3 people on second floor to try to hold that down. Definitely some holes made in the ceiling watching that main door.
A
I'm
little bit
assuming
difficult.
that ASU knows that as well. It seems like they're bringing out a bit more of the counter roam operators. You've got Zofia coming out. You got to have that breach from a distance, able to take out those maestro cams, able to burn ADSs if need be. Granted, that's a bit of a waste, but can be used that way. Looks like a run out here from Destroyer getting set up with that, or prepping the windows so that he has the sound cue if anyone breaks in.
Not only that, but they also have the Capital glass set up, so they can easily just smoke off, allow the glass to cover from behind, and either the gridlock or the IQ just goes in and just plants right there in the middle of the smoke. As they'll be probably the gridlock, because she'll be a little bit more beefier and be able to take more bullets. That way, they could just get the quick plant off and just go really quickly.
Definitely, and I mean, it's all, even if that doesn't turn out, that's still a great way to burn through some of Smoke's babes, because that'll be 30 seconds of denial that he's got on one operator. Not to mention the Maestro cams as well.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like the Zerfon's gonna be starting to look at Yellow Stairs as Glass is just droning out admin, trying to get control and understand where the roamers are playing upstairs and just get rid of that threat off early, just because it's such a big deal if you own second floor.
Lots of drone work coming out from ASU here, and definitely better to play on the safe side, especially when you don't know how many people are roaming and where. Looks like those drones will be able to find at least one member of PSU. Knowing that it's clear to repel in, Zerfon will be heading in with a teammate here, trying to take control of second floor. Alex watching his back. Breach charge coming out, going to be getting a nice view into projector. It does see the smoke briefly, not able to pick up a kill, but does get some shots down the corridor.
Looks like some pings are gonna go on to the smoke hiding inside that room. Just gonna be starting to get pressured out, as I believe they're also pushing from admin side. You can see from the Capital there. Zerfon takes down Dolini, and now Alex takes shots at the smoke, but doesn't get him. Destroyer taking down Becca on his way out from the second floor, and Destroyer also taking down Bud as he's trying just to retreat and get out of that situation. Great time to get a double kill.
SMG-11 with the new recoil that it has this season definitely getting a lot stronger of an option, as if it wasn't strong enough already. Zerfon taking some shots from Yellow Stairs. That'll be trades with Vidge. Destroyer still around as well, trying to play a little bit safer as he's now been discovered and put to about half health.
And now I guess you can see, since they have second floor control, Alex just going back to the front door, trying to get that nice control with Glaz, and if he needs, he could just be able to just go in with a smoke grenade and just be able to cover himself, as he will be able to see through it if it moves slowly enough.
Ooh, looks like Destroyer just quite wasn't able to inch around that hatch there, but did actually pick up a third kill for himself earlier, so this Smoke is carrying the round on his back so far. Has all the kills for his team. Vidge picking up one with a nice headshot, but finishing it off with a second.
Gets both Zerfon and Alex there, as he just peeks right over there, gets the first kill, immediately looks to his left, and gets the second.
Yeah, it seems like PSU is getting more and more comfortable as they go on. They start off with having to come back from a 1-2 clutch. Now they're working on even footing. In that round, I believe they only lost 2 members.
As soon as we're gonna go into our third round, as console meeting room is able to be able to be picked again, and looks like they're probably gonna. Oh, looks like they're actually gonna spice it up after their first time trying to take it. This time bringing in the gridlock again, and this time throwing in the lion, as his new changes now allow him to be played again.
Yeah, actually, that's going to be interesting to see the effect of. They don't have any sort of denial to prevent that. They don't have mute. They don't have really any operators that can try to directly counter that.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see as well, because both teams also very confident in their rosters that they brought, as none of them used the 6-pick during the 6-pick phase. gonna see just exactly how their strategy is gonna go against each other here. It's like,
Let's see. Oh, Destroyer actually does manage to get it above. Can always shoot those fan blades to make them stop if you're looking for a bit of an easier camera throw.
I think he's trying to keep them up just so it hides the cam a little bit more, so that way that when they go to peek it, they just see the fan blade rather than the camera. Although not making it completely invisible, but it's a nice distraction for the attackers to not notice.
True. Looks like D2 is going to be setting up a similar strategy here. It looks like the wall's already prepped for bathroom, so that is going to get placed. Twitch is brought by Firewall, though, so that will be a possibility. Looks like that drone is being saved, at least a little bit. The first one getting taken out. The second one's still available.
Also, first time for me seeing that projector room wall just getting destroyed almost entirely. That way it's entirely clear to see it from long desk. I haven't seen too many teams try doing something like that. I'm gonna see if the risk maybe pays off a lot better, or they just have some hidden tech that we don't know about just yet.
Definitely a strat-reliant sort of wall. If you're gonna leave it unreinforced like that, you pretty much have to have something planned because it's such a crucial, not only rotate but also just sightline.
Yeah, for sure. As you can see, Alex is starting to push in already on the lower spiral stairs. Just taking control of below, making sure he can clear out any obvious roamers and see if he can start slowly helping his team just push up, as they're going to take on the castle soon on that's a map, sorry. But the castle just sitting on yellow stairs, waiting with the Jaeger device, just getting ready for one of the attackers to come, not knowing that they're actually coming from the Visa side for now. Daft starting to already hear it just a little bit, starting to get paranoid, just checking his back, as we do have one repelled right outside of his admin window, and he will get droned out right there. Now the whole team knows that he's hiding behind that mirror window.
Hibana pellets coming out, that's going to force Mira to either rotate off the wall or peek those. However, the Hibana actually choosing to go on drone directly as those pellets hit the wall, allowing Mira to freely rotate and take care of them. Looks like the backup just not quite there. First line call going out as Twitch breaches the Castlecade. Almost getting caught out at long desk. But no, instead
Zelini takes down Firewall from that long desk right into the spiral stairs. It looks like Zerfon's just trying to figure out how he should handle the situation, knowing that his partner just died right beside him, and Delaney taking down Bud as well, still behind that long desk, just getting so many kills off of them. And it looks like he's also going to get Zerfon with a headshot as well. 3 kills for Delaney on this one.
Oh, that has to feel really bad for ASU, sending just 3 people at a time. None of them even managing to land a shot on Delaney yet. Still full health. All 3 stims, a 4th for Delaney, and that looks like that's the round. Oh no, actually that was D2. As Vidge picks up the last one on the first floor.
Yeah, very well played for PSU there. Just Delaney stopping all the attackers from pushing any more forward and keeping them back.
Delaney? Maybe. Yeah, that was an interesting spot to hold, just right behind the long desk, especially at an angle that close with ACOG. But it worked for sure.
That's always something nice to see when you look back at the scoreboard and see the entire thing is almost equal up for PSU side. That's one way you know that you could trust your team pretty well when everyone's pulling their weight. Looks like on the ASU side, Zerfon pulling a lot of the kills, and looks like his teammates are trying to start to bounce back just a little bit as they're starting to get more comfy, as we're now going into Game 5 into Garage Cafe site. Also, the 6 pick off of Maestro into Smoke. You don't expect too much that 6 pick off of Maestro. That's a very safe pick to pick on almost any situation.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's mainly based on ASU has yet to go for a plant except for round 1. They've been shut down pretty hard. So I don't think PSU's worrying too much about plant denial right now. Instead, getting a little bit more aggressive, running Destroyer with the SMG-11 based on his performance in previous rounds.
We're in the mirror setup inside office with the rotation hole into kitchen, as everyone's starting to already just put down their reinforcements and whatnot. Grabbing that nice Rook t-shirt and starting to go run around the site. Set up more, looks like she's going to set up that mirror window inside a bathroom again, is like the performance it pulled off last time. Maybe even the distraction for the players if they're playing by. Actually, you know what? If they try to rappel onto that piano window and try attacking, I bet that's why that mirror window was there originally. It's just to create the distraction that there's a mirror playing in bathroom, or somebody playing in bathroom, so they can't just peek it as freely.
Yeah, that's an interesting theory, because that could definitely slow down the attack by at least 10-15 seconds, just until they drone it out. Be interested to see. It seems like ASU just doesn't really care about piano. They're just going directly for the wall, blowing that open as quickly as possible. Taking out the left side of that wall as Thatcher moves around to try to hold the right.
And so instead, the drones are starting to flood in immediately. And Ash already pushed up onto piano, just running straight in, starting to break open some of the top holes, create a little bit of pressure from above, and let them know that Ash has control over the piano. You can see the new deployable shield getting played here by Delaney, looking through the little slits, trying to see where they could get a peek from, shooting straight outside of the garage door. Very interesting to see how the shields are starting to get used already for these little holes.
Yeah, that's going to be a rough spot, though, if Delaney stays there. IQ is playing above, already got somewhat of an angle, trying to move towards White Van. Looks like that's going to be the angle set up right now. Ooh, drone actually getting sacrificed for the breach charge.
Yeah, this recharge is also very deadly, as it allows you to get some really good sightline as it handles behind pillar. And if Zerfunk goes on to prone right here, he's going to be able to see right where he's trying to shoot properly. But instead, he gets distracted from the other person hiding with, I believe that would be Kitchen.
Wasting no time trying to go for the plant. Looks like they're going all in this round. ASU already inside behind White Van. Firewall able to take out one.
Attackers dropped the diffuser.
Yeah, that's one more down. Just gotta start playing a little bit more aggressive here as they're now down one member. And also, if you look at their health bars, not very the healthiest of people. Attackers are in a bit of a good position here to start going in, but Vij takes down two as Firewall takes down one. Just things just start popping off very quickly for the upper floor, and now Vij trying to take over the top control. However, he's low health, but he peeks again and gets the headshot onto Alex, and down goes Firewall.
This attack falling apart is a second coming out for Delaney. That
is
what a comeback.
Yeah, very, very close round there. For a second, ASU was in the grasp of just grabbing that, but unfortunately they could not execute as Vij just got the back door down and Delaney just stopping anyone from pushing in from White Truck.
Yeah, Vij doing an excellent job there of denying the flank watch. Just able to take them out by himself as he comes around on the roam.
I like how this is also one of those games too where, like, although the scoreline's 5-0, it's not even like this game has been very one-sided, because I would say that, like, ASU are putting up a good fight too, and some of these rounds coming down to like a 1v1 like the first round did. Yeah.
Yeah, worth noting actually that this is ASU's map pick as well. So that's an interesting little caveat to that. Maybe just trying to get into the swing of things. It is week 1. They probably haven't had too long to try to get these practices set up, especially with tryouts going on and whatnot. Looks like we're going to be doing a quick rehost here, trying to switch off of that Twitch Elite.
Yeah, unfortunately, Twitch Elite is one of those operators that are banned and cannot be used, as the Twitch drones become slightly more invisible to see. Kind of leaves the advantage toward the Twitch a bit too strong based on cosmetic. So unfortunately, under the rules for CEA and even Pro League itself too, the Twitch Elite is banned.
Yeah, hopefully we can get that rehost up pretty quickly. PSU already sitting at an impressive lead of 5-0. Going to be heading into round 6.
I'm just going to take a second here to get the match set up. As nice as the spectator rules are, and trying to host a custom game, you do have to still go through the trouble of just trying to record every single round and who won what. It's quite a nuisance, but it could be worse. It could not exist.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's always nice to see whenever Ubisoft releases a new patch and the spectator changes come. It's kind of funny because you don't expect too many people to care about it, but like any single time it's something like great, I always find Duke somewhere just being happy that there's something changed on the spectator cam. Is sometimes he's the spectator himself.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get set up still for the next set to go. Do you think this break will change the outcome so far? Because so far it's just been PSU nonstop taking rounds, whether it be from an early lead or at the very last second clutches. Do you think this break will allow ASU to at least take the time, think it over, and like try to recollect themselves before going back into the next one?
It'll definitely be interesting to see how they use their break, if nothing else. I'm not sure if it'll be, a world. I think it will give them a little bit of time to try to figure out what's going wrong, figure out what they can fix, and work with that. I think that's going to be their main point here.
Yeah, for sure. The one thing I always liked about rehosts is that no matter what, you could use them as a timeout. Like, I mean, technically you're supposed to use them for like, actual technical issues. Well, you could, but if you're willing to take the bet that you aren't going to have any technical issues and whatnot, you can very well use them as a timeout if you do need the extra time to just regroup and breathe. Although, would not recommend it too much, as the observer may get a little bit angry at you as she has to then re-inputs everything through the nice UI.
Yeah, it's an interesting system on how they make that work. But
it looks like we got everyone in the lobby. We're just getting small little setup things back and running and going, and we'll be able to go into console again. As a reminder, the score is, I believe, 5-0?
Yes, 5-0 in favor of PSU.
Yeah, so PSU just needs 2 more rounds just to close it out. Alternatively, ASU can still take it back 7-0 and be able to get the win, but they can lose at least 1 round safely, and then after that, they have to fight for a tie.
Yeah, it'll be a very difficult comeback, but an extremely impressive one if ASU manages to pull that off.
Yeah, like, even though a lot of situations people always look at this and just think, they're just gonna take the loss, but you'd be surprised when the comeback starts rolling. All you need is that small momentum, and then just after that, just compounds into rounds, and then next thing you know, the whole map.
Absolutely, yeah.
Especially because this rehost took a little bit of time, just gain that nice momentum ship, slowing down the game, allowing them to just think things over a bit, maybe refine their plan just a little bit, and adapt to what's currently going on, what's going wrong. Looks like we're going to be seeing a standard setup again, with a Nomad coming into play instead of Gridlock this time. So I'm trying to get the air jabs to do some work.
Yeah, a little bit less risky of a retake denial operator. Choosing to go for something a bit more concrete, something that they don't have to worry about the setup of as much. Gridlock, you have to be very careful not to throw your track stingers too early. You have to be careful not to peek out over aggressively when throwing them as well. Nomad, you can just kind of make a little hole, shoot your air jab wherever you want it, and just let it be.
Yeah, Maestro looks like this time going to be setting up, and as the site is in lobby, one of the definitely harder ones to play on is the vertical control. Just means so much, and at the same time, it's just a map you cannot predict. Like, anything could happen right here. They could try to just rush into piano and just smoke it off and get the quick plant off, or even just push in immediately before the people above could do anything about it. Or they could just try to take the upper floor and then scare everyone on the lower floor. It's one of those maps. It's one of those sites that like doesn't get picked a lot, so it's hard to kind of predict the selected movement.
Yeah. And I mean, PSU had a very solid hold on this the last time they ran this site. Looks like Delaney's going to be actually getting rid of the hatch. That did kind of delay the rotate from Destroyer last round that they played here, but it seems like that it was intentional after all.
Yeah, because it also allows you to reposition. So if you're getting shot from behind over by Visa, by Visa, you can easily just run into that hole and immediately get lower floor. And it looks like Alex is already going to headshot Delaney all the way from the spiral rappel, as she was probably just trying to get over into long desk from spiral. Bud gonna get the headshot onto D2PH. 2 kills now for ASU. Nice, good early lead. Should be able to start to follow through with this now as they got the momentum going.
Definitely already getting a third as well. It's going to be a very already strong round coming out from ASU. They definitely seem to have a bit more momentum, taking out a fourth.
But also Arms also taking out a headshot onto Zerfon as well. Now leaving it down to Arms, hiding in second floor as they realize there's one left. They can start getting a little bit more risky with the plant. Arms start needing to make quick decisions as he now knows the bomb has been planted and there are 4 attackers he needs to go through. Looks like he's going to rip down that armor panel as he has no more impacts left, not able to make the quick rotation. Nearly falling down the hole, but just narrowly missing it. And now starting to peek out toward front door and trying to get shots onto the person hiding outside. But he knows he has his team to rely on. He's not going to peek just yet. Gonna wait and make Arms sweat a little bit more as he starts to realize the end is nigh and unfortunately gets taken down by Bud.
Yeah, is this the same ASU? Because they definitely played this a lot better. They have completely changed up how they're playing these rounds. They're getting a bit more aggressive. They're using that early start of the round to their advantage. They caught Maestro off guard immediately on the roam. It's just unfortunate for them that they have now switched to defense, right as they seem to get their momentum under them. However, they can definitely keep that ball rolling. Consulate can be a bit more defense-sided. It really depends on the season, the meta. Historically, it changes every once in a while, but I would say that they've got a pretty solid opportunity right now to start taking rounds back, start reducing that round differential.
Especially with the start on defense now, allowing them to just switch gears as if like the first set didn't really happen too much, and get a little bit less stress as they start to reset and things. 'Cause at this point now, nobody has the advantage in terms of defense because you wouldn't know since it just started is the moment.
Right.
Like for all we know, ASU could also have a really strong defense team, be able to clutch it out for multiple rounds.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely could have been, since they picked this map, it was PSU's ability to choose which side, so they could have picked this with the intention of playing defense and have some very, very strong strategies prepared. So I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what they have in store for us on this Consulate defense.
Yeah, for sure. Starting to get the rotation hole onto long desk out. That was a nice sight line, or sorry, that was a nice be able to peek into bathroom, and even if you're stuck on that long desk, allows you to rotate nicely back in safely. So we're gonna get the attacker starting to spawn out now. Probably gonna start droning out and trying to find it, see if there's any dangerous roamers. IQ already just taking a peek, trying to find if there's any Valcams thrown out. Also careful at the same time about the runouts. And Delaney just gonna immediately go over to this porch here or the balcony and put down a green claymore and immediately get shot from a direction. It's just a little lost, but pretty sure that Jaeger just randomly shot through the window.
Yeah, that rappel does make enough sound to give that away. Smart use of the sound cue as well by Jaeger to try to get a little bit of damage on the board. Could be the difference between life and death later in the round. Looks like Baka playing on yellow stairs, has the SMG-11 watching. ADS to cover him from the skylight, does seem to know that there's one playing up there, so not getting too aggressive with the peek. Just making sure to prevent anyone from coming up too quickly.
Yeah, for sure. Arms just holding down the connector rotation, or connector door, just making sure that no one's able to rotate away from A, and it's a really good site, or a really good angle to hold, as you'll be able to catch people off guard. As sometimes you would, even though the call out comes that someone's on connector window, you would think after like a set period of time they probably left. And it's usually when you start to be able to get nice picks in. Looks like Delaney lit 50 already, just trying to also hold down console angle to make sure that they can peek him or peek that side, as V's just pushing in from at printer now, aiming at long desk, trying to see if he can get a nice pick, and he will peek the Jaeger and take down Bud. Run as he runs back though to get health or to get reload. He will take a couple hits as Delaney then takes down Alex while they're not paying attention. Now it's down to a 5v2 as the Valkyrie is downed.
Yeah, and with points being off due to Pro League rule set, Delaney will not know that they have actually downed the Valkyrie. Baka able to take up one in the meantime. That's Destroyer off the board. Thatcher, not too much of a fragging operator, but that's still a lot of utility that will be erased. Smoke still has all 3 smoke grenades left with only 45 seconds left in the round. Plenty of denial there to stop a plant.
It's just getting the timing right and making sure that you don't play too aggressively too quickly, otherwise you could get caught out, as he does get peeked on from the yellow stairs angle as he tries to go to deny the plant. Delaney now with the triple kills. He also takes down Zerfon. And the last one looking like they're hiding on A-bomb, trying to stay safe, knowing that Delaney is hiding here out on thing. But unfortunately, D2 PF has taken down Firewall with a headshot from the rotation hole they made using the Habana pellets.
Yeah, definitely a tough spot to be in there as ASU 1v3 to try to hold off everyone else in the round. Especially when you have so many angles to be aware of. It's a difficult situation.
Yeah,
One more
sure.
round for PSU to take first map. However, if they want to take it back, ASU can go for the tie by winning the next 5 in a row.
Yeah, for sure. At this point, ASU is just going to have to fight for their life here. Try to just keep things going, and from that attack round from before. After this, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, though, because that setback on the last map, or that last round, is just going to kind of put down some morale a little bit. But never too late to come back.
Always a possibility on the board, and it seems like the change up in roster from ASU, switching out for a Doc this time around, getting rid of the Valkyrie. Going to be playing a little bit more towards the frags, playing a little bit more towards raw gunplay instead of intel and that sort of playstyle. Rotate's getting set up inside of the break room on second. Bud getting some ADS set up inside of office, try to prevent anyone playing inside from getting flashed out too early in the round. And otherwise just setting up a pretty standard hold here, with the exception of the new deployable watching long desk.
Looks like a very similar setup to how PSU had as well, making that rotation into break room and also reinforcing the wall, giving them a little bit of cover if they need to hide out a little bit. Interesting to see how it gets played in the hands of ASU. You got Zerfon onto the dock as well. SU has been fragging throughout this entire game. He's going to be able to hopefully make a big difference, as he does take the very strong fragging op for defenders.
Absolutely. It seems like ASU has now finished their setup, about 30 seconds in, but PSU has yet to actually start pushing into the building. So right now, just primarily focusing on droning and getting positioned for their push later in the round.
Yeah, it seems we're going to start taking up angles from all different sides, just trying to see if they could get any different picks. As we got Vish here just hiding out on Spiral Repel, making sure that they can cause a little bit of pressure. So, because usually after you reinforce something like that, you would start to feel a little bit safe, as now, as long as you see it up, you're thinking you're perfectly fine from getting shot from that direction. So whenever you just take random pot shots like that, you'd be surprised how often it will work.
Yeah, it's definitely not the... It seems to work more than it would be expected to. I'll say that much. Looks like Delaney knows that there's one playing inside of Connector. That Repel just not quite working out, losing a bit over half their health and some other poke as well, but able to take out one pick on Firewall. Alex just a little bit too slow to react as Delaney peeks back across, able to pick up the shots.
Getting a good shot onto Delaney there now, getting rid of the Connector window control, allowing his team to be able to breathe as they rotate a little bit better now, as the console window is being controlled down by the IQ. Not allowing any of the attackers to be able to walk by the long desk, and Zerfon shooting onto the person coming up spiral stairs, getting a lot of shots off and taking quite a bit of damage at the same time, starting to heal himself up so he can be able to re-peek and hopefully get a nice pick onto the attackers.
Yeah, it looks like D2 was aware of the ADS setup at the top of yellow, able to take that out before using their Hibana pellets on it. Vij getting a little bit too aggressive there, trying to push into break all on their lonesome. A knife coming out from Alex, taking out Destroyer. That's an unfortunate turn of events, leaving it all up to Arms to try to take this round for PSU.
And from Arms' perspective, it may look like a 3v... Oh, never mind. I was supposed to say it may look like a 3v1, but the Jaeger, playing by Bud, was currently out like 1 health, but since he's docked, just healed him right back up, and it's like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, Arm's already getting spotted. They know exactly where he's at. He has 7 seconds to try to get onto site. Not sure if that's going to be a possible push here.
And the other thing is too, since some of the defenders are dead, they're able to watch the cams, see those cams get shot out, start to be able to path where that IQ is coming, especially since they could hear him just charging up the spiral stairs. So they will be getting the shot onto him.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely a much better hold that round than their previous one for ASU. They had a lot more control that time. They were shutting down and getting picks whenever they lost one. They were getting those refrags, taking care of really most of the things they needed to as quickly as possible.
Yeah, Alex definitely also helped a lot by popping off and getting rid of the connector window control and taking down 2 more, one with a knife as well. Always interesting to see a knife kill coming out.
And it looks like in the basement now, they're actually going to be bringing a bandit, trying to focus a little bit more on tricking those thermite charges. Smoke and Maestro, very, very common picks here. Jaeger as well. However, a mute coming out seems to be Firewall's sort of preferred pick. He was playing that up on 2nd floor as well.
It's going to be interesting to see how that mute gets played, because you also have the bandit as well, trying to stop the breach on from being opened up. But I could, just because I may not be able to see enough mutes onto this site, but as far as I know, the only thing it's going to pull off too much is the drone hole. But, I mean, I'm welcome to be proven wrong. I always love seeing new strategies coming out from teams. It's one thing I love about CIL.
Yeah, I mean, Firewall getting already up on here, trying to stop any drones from heading up overhead. That going to be interesting to see if he tries to go for the mute jammer inside of kitchen to prevent the breach on that as well. Doesn't have the mute jammer on the box for the bathroom hatch either, although that one's very risky because it only blocks half of the hatch.
That last mute jammer he placed there, was that supposed to stop the main lobby? Because
I'm not
goes a little
entirely
bit far
sure.
from it. Looks like it will start lines up a little bit with that main lobby one. So it'll be able to stop the breach coming in. I've never seen that before. It's good to know.
Looks like PSU is going to be starting their attack by droning out 2nd floor and garage, trying to take control of the west side of the map.
Yeah, always a good idea to clear out 2nd floor. Is generally the roamers need to control 1st floor, but it's always the most dangerous thing to try to start off in, since, as you can see here, Delaney just destroying the window, getting a lot of sight line onto the piano area, and we'll see that Maestro cam as well. But always a dangerous part to start off in 1st floor, so by sitting on 2nd floor, they're able to get a little bit more of a refuge and a little bit of breathing space.
Able to get that drone into safety right away. Buck already inside. That's Arms making holes through the floor, already watching. Yeah, able to take out the Maestro cam with the Zofia lifeline there as well.
So the demolition crew has arrived, now just the floor getting demolished as Buck and Zofia just blasting away at it freely as they just try to open up these tight lines. And Zerfon on the second floor, hearing the call out from his teammates that they're destroying from Piano, starting to figure out that he needs to start rotating and be able to get a nasty flank onto them. Hopefully he's able to pull that out nicely.
Yeah, Bud able to get out of there just in time as Alex goes for the flank, able to pick up arms. Upside down rappel going to end very poorly for Zerfon. Such a tight angle to hold and try to combat.
Yeah, as you
Delaney
can see from
inside of Piano.
As you can see from Zerfon's angle there too, you could barely see that Capital as he wasn't too visible. Meanwhile, Delaney had a decent shot on him and was able to be successful as he took the shot.
D2 still watching outside of garage. No one really trying to peek that angle just due to how much of a disadvantage it gives. Alex watching yellow stairs. Ooh, peeking at just the right time based on that sound cue. Able to take a nice headshot on D2.
And Maestro just holding down the long angle from pipes, but it looks like Capital is starting to push down. Can't see if you can get the flank, but it looks like also Mute holding an Archives, watching that Maestro's back as was a bit exposed there. And it looks like he's going to just start running in straight into Kitchen. Just running right through the rotation, beelining it as he's now brought down to a 1v2 as the last one is that Mute hiding out in Archives, takes down Delaney. Now it's just left down to Viral and Zofia, and the plant's going down at the same time. Viral just booking it as the pings are going out, but the diffuser goes off and it looks like the Zofia is able to retreat. And now Viral's in a bit of a predicament as he's forced to push forward. Looks like he nearly C4'd himself too.
Active pings from that Maestro cam nearly giving Vij's location away, but able to use those lifeline concussions to get out. However, the Nitro Cell not quite working in the favor of ASU.
And it seems that they have us drone on Vij as well, just waiting for the defuse coming out, just so they could be able to peek out, get the shot, and PSU will take the map.
Clean last round there from PSU. Traded 1-for-1 for most of their fights, and that diffuser hold at the end was a little bit nail-biting, to say the least, but well done by Vij and the rest of PSU.
Yeah, also very good patience by Vij, just waiting for the last couple seconds, and so the drone can confirm they are sticking the plant before peeking out, in case that smoke tried, or Firewall tried tricking it and just taking the shot the second he peeks out, thinking that it's time to defuse.
Absolutely. Well, with that map wrapping up, we're going to have a quick 5-minute break, giving the teams a little bit of time, bio break, get a drink, maybe strat for the next map. We'll see when we come back.
Hello. Welcome back to the second map of ASU versus PSU. We'll be going to Border as the previous map was Consulate, and PSU have won that with a score of, correct me if I'm wrong, 7-3? I think that's right. And now, just getting the last bit of preparations done as we will be heading into Border. And hopefully, as ASU will be starting attack again, they will be able to take what they learned from Consulate and apply it to Border and just be able to take out much more rounds in the beginning.
Yeah, Border is definitely one of the more iconic maps of Siege. Definitely, I think it's the second most played map, at
Yeah,
least in
it is.
competitive. It's seen more than its fair share of play over the past few seasons, and I mean, it's always a close map, basically.
It's one of those classic maps that no matter what, you could always rely. Like you can always rely that almost anyone has a Border strat. Like even I want to guess someone of like a very low rank still knows exactly what the strategies for Border is, just because it's a map that's just so classic and played a lot. So
Yeah.
all the strategies are all revealed and stuff like that.
Yeah, and even with that, it's still one of the more competitively viable maps just due to the amount of options you have. I mean, there's so much verticality, there's a lot of destructibility. It's a very, very strat heavy map, and I think that's why a lot of teams like to play on it, especially PSU, who seem to have a very good idea of what they're doing heading into each match.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting in a couple more seasons as well because, as you may be aware of, Cafe was added to the rotation in place of Oregon. And Oregon was another one of those maps that's just so classic and known by a lot of teams, so they just had a bunch of strats on it. And now that it's taken out and Cafe is put in, it's starting to like add a little bit of a breath of new air coming into the rotations, as not too many people would originally looked at Cafe and thought, man, how do I win a bajillion dollars in this through Pro League?
Yeah, and I mean, with the rework coming out, a lot of the previous strats on Cafe have had to be adapted, and now with Pro League having that map in its rotation, you're going to be seeing a lot more strats coming out for that in the near future, which I'm excited to see. I think that's going to be a good addition. But
it's going to be fun watching the outrages when Border gets removed for something else, and everyone's just like, "What do I pick now?" Looks like we will be heading into Border now as everyone is ready, and the ban phase will be going out with PSU starting on the attack ban.
Looks like they're taking a little bit of time making sure that they know exactly what they want to get rid of here. First ban, pretty crucial, but deciding on Jackal.
I would call him more so the safe ban, as since you were a first ban, you gotta, like, if you're second ban, you could probably bet that the first person will do it for you, and if not, then it's either you or nobody. But since they are first ban, they need to just get rid of a big issue from the game out early and guarantee that for themselves. As ASU will be starting attack as well. They may decide last second, hey, you know what? Let's just not ban Jackal and bring him in and just use him on him.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's just a good call by PSU. If they want to have roamers on a map like Border, you're going to need to get rid of Jackal.
Super interesting to get rid of Thermite as well, as they are also starting attack, and that is about, what, 6-7 rounds that they have to play on attack?
Yeah, they're definitely going to see at least 2 attacks on Armory, and Thermite's very, very crucial for breaking open that Armory wall. They might have a strat that doesn't use him, maybe uses Maverick a little bit more, perhaps maybe more of the Habana, but either way, interesting to see that. Mira getting banned as well, very, very common ban on Border just due to the potency of her Mira windows and their strategies on Armory and inside a workshop.
And then just like that, Operation Velvet Shell never existed, as both the operators are just banned and gone from the game. And it looks like Echo will just be the last ban coming out as another operator that very, very scary to fight against. Whether you have him or don't, it's just something that's so risky leaving in the game. especially with
Yeah.
7-second plant time. Those echo jammers could just, or those echo drones could just stop you for ever and stall you out and leaving allowing the rest of the defenders to be able to adjust and even just relax a little bit as the other attackers will be waiting for them to peak.
Yeah, and I mean, PSU doesn't seem to be that big on playing Echo. It seems like they're much more of a Maestro or Smoke focused team for plant denial, and it seems like that's going to be the case once again as they bring Destroyer with Smoke. However, this time Delaney going to be switching off of the Doc, still an ACOG, but switching to Cade.
Yeah,
Gonna
Baka
be-
as well, bringing Gridlock as well. Actually, Gridlock and Nomad at the same time. They're really going to try to hold off these rotations.
Yeah, and I mean, it looks like they are indeed going for the Hibana breach up onto Armory. So most likely I wouldn't be surprised if they use one of those on Fountain just to try to set up a crossfire. Could be seeing a whole different array of strategies, however, here. Destroyer already using those reinforcements to set up on the Armory wall, taking care of those right away. Reinforcements coming out in Fountain from Cade and Jaeger as well. And lastly, Legion taking care of Archives.
Yeah, since this is such a classic map, you can see every single defender knowing immediately what wall to run to and defend with almost no hesitation, leaving them a lot of time to start just setting up the rest of their defenses and throwing up all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm with the addition of the Burnt Horizon operators and the Wind Bastion operators. I'm surprised we're not seeing a bit more Mozzie, actually. With the amount of droning and intel reliance that these teams have, I think seeing one of those would actually be pretty interesting, especially on a map like Border where you have the ability to create choke points using those pests.
Yeah, for sure. Looks like they're going to be trying to attack from office side as Alex and Zerfon already just heading over here, just making sure they drone it out, see if there's any people roaming below, as they could have potentially, from their perspective, they could have potentially tried to 6-pick in a pulse and start getting ready for C4 tosses and such. Looks like Arms just, after taking a nice stroll downstairs, going to come back onto site as Zerfon and Hibana are going to start pushing into looks from tellers and waiting area here. Yeah.
Zerfon already making their way up east stairs. Going to be trying to get a bit of an angle onto offices, maybe set something up watching towards 90. Baka out on AC unit watching inside archives. For the moment, the F90, a very, very strong gun for watching angles like that. Especially with the ability of Gridlock to throw track stingers and sort of shut down any runouts as well.
Yeah, for sure. Already just starting to hold down some angles, be able to, as well. He could even drone from there as well, since that window door. Sorry, from that AC, you could just throw out immediately into a cam, onto the side, and just throw it into the archive. It looks like, as I'm talking, Delaney will be headshotting down Bud, all the way from metal into the. Oh, geez, that is an angle. He was aiming all the way from metal into the right beside the reinforcement there that he's currently aiming at. And it lines up all the way to the door, sniping him out with the shotgun there.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate pick to have this early in the round as well. ASU losing their roam, anti-roam there. And the Firewall on Thatcher going down just outside of offices through the soft wall. That will definitely put a hamper in their plans as Destroyer able to take out the IQ. That is one more off the board. Quick peek from Alex, able to take out the Jaeger, but it is a 3v4 with two of them at just about 20 HP.
And 35 seconds on the clock, and they're not able. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to get onto site at this rate. Things are looking very scary for the attackers. They're going to start pushing in, but it looks like Alex is going to get taken down by Arms with a headshot all the way in office. And Arms getting ready again to start shooting at Firewall, who's on the brink of death, just trying to hold on, but Destroyer will take him down as he tries to rotate, and PSU will take round one.
Definitely one of the more defender-sided sites on this map, so not surprising to see that go to PSU. Most likely, yep, Ventilation Workshop going to be the second round. One of the other very defender-favored site here. However, it does leave a lot of options open for ASU, as they have the ability to use that Nomad a little bit more, try to set up those air jabs in a bit more opportune spots. As well, they have a little bit less to worry about on site, as vents is usually held from above inside of Armory. So if they can clear that out, they have a pretty solid take set up.
Yeah, for sure. It's always fun when you see on ventilations, the setups for ventilation versus armory is almost the exact same thing. As you still have to hold the second floor for a good amount of attack, as since that is such a big, you know, vertical play area.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Gonna be able to see the setup starting to go down by defenders, and Rook Armor already going down. Everyone grabbing them nice t-shirts. And Delaney just starting to hunt down those drones. So could not get the spawn peek onto the drone. Because we'll be actually reinforcing off jail here. Actually, something I don't see too often. More so just out of... Usually it's something else that always gets reinforced rather than jail.
Yeah, detention's one of those rooms that you either use it for a run out or just kind of ignore it, it seems. However, if they're trying to play inside of stock for angles watching towards vents, I could see them using that way. But granted, I haven't seen a strat like that in a while, so I would be curious as to how that would turn out for them.
And in general, it's always another entrance just blocked off entirely, since it now requires heavy breaching. Because usually a sledge would be brought along, so detention wall will be something that is just kind of a toothpick compared to sledge.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, see Zerfon here starting to just try to apply some pressure, see if he gets some random hot shots onto the office side. Gonna start working on droning along with his team to get into Armory side and maybe even CCTV for a little bit of footing.
Yeah, and 2 playing up inside of Armory is going to be a decent roadblock for ASU, as they have Bandit tricking that, which means that their only way to get in, as they have just Hibana, is not great. And as I talk about Hibana, there she goes off the scoreboard, of each getting a nice shot right away in the round. Hibana down off the board, no health lost.
That is a heavy hard breacher down as well early on, before even being able to use the utility. They have a little bit of a upset here for ASU, as now they're just gonna have to be able to adapt without the idea of breaching any of the walls. And it looks like V's just holding on that nice angle from top of archives. Nice spot to always be holding, and Surfon gonna be trying to breach open a metal wall, trying to open up more angles from the defenders, so they have to be a little bit more wary now and watch more angles, as they can hear the blast go off.
Yeah, and smart choice of the IQ to bring those breach charges instead of the Claymore, as they can be quite a good way to get rid of the castle barricades, but that looks like it won't be a problem for the castle anymore, as IQ is dropped off the board. Second pick from Beach this round.
Looks like Commentator's Curse takes its second toll onto Hisyu. This time, Firewall's going to be trying to peeking in onto Vijay. He's trying to just desperately hold out, and looks like they will be getting a shot onto Baka. And down goes Vijay as well, and just a whole bunch of people bleeding from that combat. As you can see that Zofia just downed in the corner. Arm's just trying to hold on for his life, as he knows there's at least 1 to 2 people holding out. He's starting to get concussed, knowing that the Zofia is back up, and it's going to be a little bit tough for him, but since everyone's health bars are so low, it is very possible for him to take this, and sees the first shot, but unfortunately couldn't land it, and gets taken down by Nomad, played by Bud.
Yeah, worth noting that Arms had a nitro cell there that entire time. Could have thrown that over the desk and tried to at least, if nothing else, bait them out. If it all went according to plan, possibly get 1, maybe even 2 with that. But no, ASU able to push in, Destroyer able to take out 1 quickly with the SMG-11, switching to the shotgun, not needing it as time runs out.
Yeah, usually when situations like that too, it's kind of hard to even think to throw the C4, because you know they're pushing you hard and they're about to peek you at any given moment.
Adrenaline's
start to get
going.
you, and you start not kind of tunnel visioning onto one idea, and generally speaking, it's not always the wrong idea. It's just one
It's a tough
option.
spot to be in for sure. 1v2, you're low health, you're pinned down. I think they played that overall quite well, though. PSU doing a nice job that round, able to take it out and really just work that situation to their advantage. Having to go through customs and supply this time, however, it's going to be interesting to see how they hold that, whether or not they go for a second floor hold or not.
Also good to note that the roamers that were sitting on the second floor also performed a really good job as well as stalling time, considering by the time they finally took second floor, half the team and was dead, and they have like what 10 20 seconds left to get back onto site and take it.
Yeah,
Very well
think,
done by the roamers.
Yeah, I think that was a very great execute there, being able to use just so much of that time effectively for very minimal loss as well.
And then nice rook armor down. Everyone grabbing that shirt almost on unison there. Getting down the reinforcements onto the default walls. Making sure that they don't leave any holes. So we're going to see a Valkyrie getting played as well this time. Throwing camps on the second floor just to check on themselves. Make sure they're not about to get sledged from above or anything like that.
It looks like the breach charges will be possibly making a return from Firewall on IQ. Worth noting that there is a Zofia this time around as well with a Twitch. Hopefully the Twitch will be able to take out some of those Valk cams if possible, but we will see.
Yeah, for sure. As the attackers start to run out and try to start checking their spawn peaks, making sure they're not too vulnerable. So interesting to see that someone has chosen an attacker that has with a gun with the ACOG on it and actually chose to take reflex sight. Not a very common sight. Usually everyone in, or majority of this game just loves ACOG so much and just gets really comfy with them that you just take it everywhere.
D2 already getting droned out up in CCTV. Does have an angle set up watching outside of break room, but has to be careful from behind as well in case there is anyone rappelling up on side of armory.
Yeah, it's quite interesting as well because usually CCTV becomes one of those sites that like you kind of hold kind of loosely, have rotates out, make sure you're able to just duck out at a moment's notice so you can stall for time. But since it's right over site, this becomes much more of an important spot, and they're trying to just really hold it down as Vij getting shots onto the Nomad, but not quite taking her down just yet. The flashbang just getting thrown out right at him, and looks like he just was standing prone right by the door as Zerfon just catches him with the headshot.
Yeah, that group of two actually working quite well in their favor for ASU, able to take out the very aggressive prone there from Vij. D2 still playing up inside of break, is droned out at the moment. And that looks like he'll be having to contest 3 attackers up on second floor.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it looks like he did actually have the rotate from CCTV door into armory by making the impact hole. About to say he's kind of cornered there as well, and spot that he might just try contesting, but since he did have the spare impact grenade, he was able to just get himself out. And also looks like Nomad was taking shots from below the hatch, as someone was just sitting there staring right up and waiting for them to be more tunnel visioned onto the Legion played by D2.
Yeah, still 2 possibly soon to be 3 operators up on second floor. Looks like they are aware that Legion is playing more towards office side and east stairs. Almost able to pick up the rotate, but no, instead getting picked off instead. Losing a fight even with that ACOG. That's a Delaney fighting back with one of their own.
Kills going back and forth at this point. Becca also picking up the kill on Delaney. 3 kills just went off really quickly. Now it just brought down to a 3v3. Looks like Baka is starting to just push up some more as they take control over the site. Defender's gonna be trying to play for retake here. Is just a little bit off site. They got Leash just running straight into the office. The Hibana going down, and within matters of seconds, the PSU just takes down the attack or the rest of the attackers there.
Very solid retake there by PSU. Legion wasting no time, just ramboing onto site, taking out 2.
And also doing a very good job of making sure not to peek all at separate times. That way, each one of the people they peeked had to be focusing on something and could not support out their buddy, leaving them a little bit more vulnerable from getting attacked.
Yeah. Absolutely, PSU using the power of numbers to their advantage.
Yeah, for sure. As we're going into round 4 now, with back onto Armory, getting some nice anti-breach with the Kaid and Doc coming out, see if he makes some frags. But getting 6 picked into the Pulse, actually. Going to be trying to play from below, getting that C4 out. Going to be very interesting to see if he's able to make the dramatic difference, because Pulse is one of those operators that could literally win a game by himself, if left alone.
I mean, the intel alone from the heartbeat scanner is going to be very interesting. The cardiac sensor is such a strong gadget. However, worth noting that ASU is bringing Buck this time around, which means they will be playing below to a certain extent as well. So we might see a very interesting fight going on between Pulse and Buck.
And it's going to be a battle of who could win the control over first floor. If Buck manages to take it, then he's going to have almost free roam to just start shooting up all the flooring of the area and just make it such a pain to think of rotating anywhere, as the defenders will be realizing there's a hole right beneath their feet. But if the Pulse is able to take it, then the attackers have to go through the hell of understanding that any single time they stand still for 3 seconds, they are putting themselves at risk. And it looks like they're also going to bait the spawn peak, but
yeah, and with
run away from it.
A slightly underappreciated buff, actually, was that Pulse had his scanner time cut by almost 50% last season. So he's a much stronger operator now than he already was, albeit still one of the less played operators at the moment.
Looks like Beach went for some early shots here, but it's already just taken down to 50% health. Now just trying to keep himself back and just play a little bit safe, as he still needs to help out the Pulse, just keep the lower floor control and be able to make the difference. So Baka also gonna be peeking out a front door, and Arm's starting to get a little bit more comfy, as he's trying to make sure he has his exits covered and knows that no one's there currently.
Twitch just not quite tracking the stealing there. Doesn't see Destroyer playing up above. Vidge playing inside of Customs, able to take out one as well. That's all of their first floor clear operators gone and off the board. Buck and Twitch are both eliminated. However, ASU does have control of CCTV right now, which is a very solid place for them to have. However, all 18 of the X-Karos pellets being tricked by Cade will mean that Hibana has no option to breach the armory wall. They will have to play from a different spot. Zofia, standing still for just a bit too long, does hear the nitro cell and able to move at the last second.
Very fortunate that he had moved that last second. Unfortunate for the PSU here, is now they're down to C4 and Pulse, but regardless, he's still able to make out good intel as Zerfon and Destroyer take kills for their team, and now we're stuck down to a 2v4. The attackers not in a very good position here, as also Firewall going down from peeking at the doorway. It looks like he's going to get raised back up by Zerfon, but he's definitely not going to be a very healthy person. It looks like we got the Pulse coming right back upstairs, trying to help his team, as he's no longer with the C4. Zerfon just getting smoked out from being able to push onto site. They're going to try to make something work, but more smoke's just going out, choking them. Very, very loose with the smoke grenade throwing, but he does take down a bunch of health with it, making it all the worthwhile.
Yeah, both operators for ASU below 25 HP, meaning there will be one hit from any weapon that the defense can throw at them.
Yeah, at this point they're just kind of stuck, because you can even see the Pulse just playing on metal stairs, just waiting for them to rotate, and Destroyer just sitting there prone with the shotgun, waiting for the doorway entry, immediately catching them both as soon as they try entering. And PSU will dominantly take that round.
Yeah, and it seems like PSU has a very, very strong setup for Armory. They rarely lose members, and if they do, it's so far into the round that they've already thrown their enemies into disarray.
And you can see Destroyer there, 8 kills and no deaths, just demolishing out ASU as much as he can, trying to help out his team take these victories more convincingly. And ASU starting to slowly figure out what they need to do, but unfortunately, the scoreline's 4-0, and it's going to be a little bit hard for them to come back at this point. But it's never impossible. And they can always
No.
try to make a comeback.
And it seems like they're trying to switch up their roster a little bit, try to figure out what's going to work a little bit better for them here. Bring out the Ash on Bud, bringing the Gridlock back as well. Nomad wasn't quite working for them. Gridlock had a little bit of success. See if they can combo that with something else and make some magic happen.
Also adapting a little bit by taking that Thatcher this time, as last time the armory wall was bandit tricked and was very, very difficult to try to be able to reach the wall just with the Habana alone. Now we're going to have the Thatcher to hopefully disrupt that plan a little bit and try to create a little bit more pressure on the bandit, as he's now forced to just sit there and stare at the walls. I know they're going to be throwing things at it, leaving him open for a peek.
Yeah, and it seems like the second floor reinforcements are going to be a problem once again. Setup already going down inside of Archives and Armory. Delaney once again getting detention walls, preventing anyone from coming in from the southwest corner of the map.
Yeah, cutting off one of those entrances entirely is, again, that is soft wall. That thing is pretty much just a flimsy piece of paper at the end of the day. Looks like we're going to get a heavy spawn side on Valley there, as Surfon actually joining up from the first floor tellers. Usually, it's surprised it's not immediately just onto second floor, but perhaps they have a different plan this time. Maybe try to strike straight onto site and see what they qualify as. Habana is also following along, with Surfon actually being able to take down any jammers or anything, stop him from being able to put down the Habana pellets. Starting to push up slowly, take a little bit of space, but Zerfon will get taken out from Delaney just sitting inside a CCTV onto a nice angle. Delaney just trying to relax a little bit as he knows his position is compromised a bit. Trying to reposition himself within the room and see if he can get another pick.
Yeah, and that's a really unfortunate op to lose this early in the round for ASU, losing the F2, one of the strongest assault rifles in the game. Not to mention Twitch drones able to take out almost any gadget by themselves. However, Alex able to get the bathroom door open, that castle barricade getting dropped. That's definitely going to open up a bit of opportunity for them. However, they now have to try to take control, at least a little bit of workshop, to make sure that they don't just get pre-fired as soon as they rotate.
It's going to be very difficult for them to be able to just take in the first floor like that, as it's only Ash currently trying to attack the second floor, but will get taken, or not taken out entirely, but very much shown fear from the Jaeger, as he just gets nice shots onto him, leaving him at 50% health left. So you see the Ash kind of rotating toward the lower floor, as they're now just focusing on the first floor control and putting more pressure on the anchors rather than the roamers. But Delaney also just watching here in CCT, or custom, sorry, making sure that if anyone does try getting too close, he's able to just get the shot on and at least try to create pressure, stop him from pushing in so easily.
ASU able to get that diffuser up out of the hallway, just crossing over when Delaney wasn't quite watching. However, Vij playing above is going to be a bit of a problem for ASU as they try to get the plant down. Deletion, or Destroyer going down. That's the smoke off the board. The first death this game, actually, so far. Vij on the rotate, able to take out Baka.
So we hit them with the third time of a commentator curse. As soon as we mention it, he gets taken down, and then round after. But looks like they're still going to keep pushing forward as the bomb is down, and there actually are gridlock traps inside of the bathroom, starting to slow down Vij and actually deteriorating his health, making him forced to stop and shoot them. And it looks like it's actually going to stall him off for a good amount of time, but I also failed to realize that the entire attackers also got taken down and the defuse is going out. Vij is just clearing them out.
Yeah, Vij did a really nice job of rotating into the round there. About a minute in, started to realize that they were pushing pretty hard from inside towards customs, and also being concussed and flicking through the wall to hit that shot at the end. Very well coordinated.
Yeah, and right there you can see one of the good uses of Gridlock has over Nomad, where if it was a Nomad jammer holding off that rotation, most of the spots around that area would have been very visible and would not have actually been able to pull off much work. But the Gridlock mines, since they're all on the floor and, you know, very, very spread out around the room, they're able to just catch you and stop you from being able to push in so quickly. And we will be going to customs for our third map, and looks like we will be seeing a 6-pick into Tachanka coming in from PSU. I'm expecting nothing but greatness now.
Seems like PSU a little bit of BM. Either that or they're extremely confident in their Tachanka plays here.
I mean, there are some players out there who legit just
Attackers need to locate and defuse
Oh,
like
yeah.
Tachanka and figure out strats, although it is very, very commonly a character you decide to style on your opponents a little bit with.
Yeah, in a competitive environment, you generally won't see him played, but it seems like they have something in mind here. The turret getting set up, watching towards main door, a little bit focused on storage as well.
Holding as well, or looks like he's about to start holding. Also looks like he has potential. All they have to do is open up the wall a bit, and he would actually be able to see right into the sight window,
5 seconds
and actually
to go.
be able to just peek from so far away, especially with that deployment shield as well, covering the front.
Attackers' objective is to
This
locate
might actually be pretty deadly.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. The turret has 90 degrees of motion to either side, which means it can also watch the customs door as well. Runout already coming out from a destroyer as he does a quick little peek, checking for anyone getting
Also, I'm
Right up
pretty
to
sure
the-
he
attackers.
threw a black eye out during that time, because
Yeah.
that is a very good spot to throw it out, as you'll be able to see right into detention. But it looks like they're
Mhm.
going to be playing more toward passport side, as he may have droned out the Tachanka, saw the angles he's trying to hold, and realized it might be a little bit easier to just go the other way.
Destroyer already getting droned out outside of south entrance, is able to fall back inside of workshop. Nothing really lost there, just a little bit of health. And I believe that was just from the Twitch drone.
And now they're pushed into passport. They're starting to take control so they can cover so that the Habana could breach open the wall and create some havoc. And Baka taking down Destroyer with the assault rifle on Gridlock. And now we're
Yeah.
going to be able to see maybe a momentum shift for ASU, as they are now 5v4. And
Destroyer choosing
one of
just
the
the wrong
players
line.
I'm pretty sure they probably know by now one of the players is a Tachanka due to droning.
Yeah. Destroyer chose a bit of a poor time to rotate there. Walked through right as the door got dropped. That's an unfortunate timing. Granted, that is one of the most frustrating things about Siege, is just that unfortunate timing. Always strikes when you don't want it to. Looks like Bud's making his way towards main entryway. Ooh, able to get a nice pick quickly onto the Vigil, choosing to drop the hatch just a little bit too early.
Again, Call of Duty skills in with the quick scope. And looks like Bud will be pushing out from the other side and getting another kill. Now it's just down to a 4v1 within seconds. Down for the Legion. Try to clutch out, and it looks like he tried rotating, but unfortunately got marked out, and Baka will take him down.
Yeah, PSU's a little bit over greedy picks there did actually come back to bite them. But yeah, that's a little unfortunate.
And we're going to our round 7 now. 2 more wins for PSU, and they'll finish this out. But it is not too late for ASU to take it back, as for now, the idea of drawing is not guaranteed, as they could just go 7-5. Looks like we're going to be seeing Ella coming out here along with Legion. Got 2 trap operators, hopefully trying to slow down the aggressive attack from coming out from PSU here. Be able to perform a little bit of work. And also the 6-pick away from Bandit into Kaid, probably just so tricking is a little bit more safer, as these could be further back, and doesn't require him to just be so far into the wall and just get immediately peeked, as
Defenders, protect your bombs.
there's not too much stopping the attackers. Just immediately run in, turn to the left, and just start shooting.
Yeah. Looks like we're going to be seeing a little bit of a different setup here, bringing out the Ella from ASU. Choosing to run a bit of a different setup, using the Scorpion. Very strong weapon. FO12 also a very strong one as well, however, more of an Oregon-focused loadout than for Porter.
And also a very fun operator to play, especially with all of the nerfs,
10
because
seconds remaining.
at first you would think, oh man, this recoil is unbearable, but sometimes it's quite fun. You just hold down left click, and then suddenly the recoil gets you a headshot.
Attackers objective
Especially,
is to locate a
I mean,
bomb.
that combined with the Gershmot mines that she has allows her to be an extremely powerful operator. The mines actually reduce the sensitivity of enemy players, which can throw them off their game quite easily. That plus the concussion effect makes
And
for
it's
a very
always
deadly combination.
great time to immediately peek with that gun, especially since it's a very close range, heavy gun, allowing her to just deal massive damage, and if not, kill immediately as they peek.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like Delaney bringing out the Capitao once again. The Para 308, always a good weapon to use in combination with Capitao's extremely powerful crossbow. Ooh, aware of the run out, able to pick him off real quick. Destroyer with the AR-33.
Looks like they were able to communicate in times due to the constant vigilant eye of Delaney watching the window, watching the door, and Destroyer just picking off immediately and reacting. But Ellis looks like she's gonna go for her round 2 with the. It manages to. Oh, it looks like down the. No, it looks like he left 5 health there.
I think that was a
Barely
drop
holding
shot
on for the
from-
Thatcher.
Was that a drop shot from Destroyer to take her out? I think that was a hipfire drop shot. Ooh, Kada just peeking at the wrong time. Firewall able to take out Delaney. That had to be a
unfortunate.
very scary peek there. Just breaking
Imagine
open
you're
a
just
window.
about to walk on by and you just hear the melee go off and you're just like, oh, he's over here, and just immediately blasted because he's holding that deadly weapon.
Yeah.
Will destroy a wall in seconds, even though it doesn't look like a shotgun too much.
Baka able
Like-
to take out Vij pretty nicely there, not losing any health in the process. That's the Ash off the board. Granted, no real rush being done this round, but still a powerful operator to get rid of. Arms has the frags available, is repelled up on an armory window, playing for any angles inside of small office, it looks like.
Looks
Ping
like
going out.
information going out for Baka to just figure out when he needs to start shooting through that wall and get the plant. As they also throw out the C4 a bit
Bomb
early,
located by
but
attackers.
creates some fear, and Buck is just sitting there on the window, just waiting to catch the mistake as they try pushing all the way in, as D2 is just baiting. But fortunately, Buck is just still sitting by metal, waiting for the plant to go off and the ping. And we'll take down the diffuser with 30 seconds left on the clock, and it's just left down to Buck as Destroyer finishes off Firewall. Or actually, yeah, Destroyer finished off. Destroyer's still alive with 5 HP. I keep thinking he's dead because it's so little. Looks like the diffuser is still down, but it's just that's the moment of kills, and
Attackers recover
Baka is not able to get onto site, and looks like they're gonna be able to pick up the diffuser with 5 seconds to plant it. Baka being able to finish off the last of the PSU attack.
Yeah, Baka did an extremely good job there trying to hold that site. 1v3, granted one of them was down, but still had to play around 2 other operators. I don't think they actually knew that Hibana was down just due to points being off. A strong showing there from Baka as they're able to basically 1v3.
And it looks like we're gonna get another ventilation hold. As now scores now 2-5. ASU starting to pick up some nice wind and be able to keep things going. And looks like be running with a similar setup this time, as kills on PSU side are very, very heavy, as you can see there, and gonna be able to see if they can make the adjustments needed for a defense here. Looks like we'll also be bringing in Castle, another operator that's always interesting to get pulled out, because I mean generally for the ventilation it's usually most teams start reinforcing off the same stuff, but Castle is one of those characters that allows you with a lot of creativity, because just castling off one door itself
by attackers.
kind of changes quite a bit for the attackers to push in.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
Looks like some pretty standard reinforcements getting set up so far. The wall towards back office, as well as the first wall and bathroom being reinforced. That could actually come back to bite ASU. Should they try to not have anyone playing inside a bathroom, using the Maestro cams to hold that instead. They might have a problem where that wall could give the attackers just the perfect spot to plant, but we won't know until later in the round. Walls going out on Archive as well will stop, or at least slow down, the clear of second floor by a little bit. with
Yeah.
the assistance of Castle and Valkyrie as well.
And that wall as well that he reinforced there. If the defenders don't reinforce that whatsoever, it is very easy for someone to just go to office windows, shoot straight, and probably end up with a kill, as that hall will just lead into the entire site, or the entire armory area.
Yeah.
Looks like we're gonna have Bud roaming from below a little bit, as maybe he might be trying to rotate up slowly. Just making sure he doesn't go too fast and get caught out from anyone trying just to go really quickly in. It's like Arms just walking right into the CCTV like he owns the place. Just destroying walls, creating nice sights for him to be able to see. And as one of his teammates also droning out that Valkyrie there below, and Zerfon trying to see if they're coming from below, check out those different angles. The attackers start to slowly pinch forward toward the armory room. And you can see here too, just all the different setup, even though they know the site is below, a lot of utility is used to take our armory. That's how big of a difference this one area could just hold over this entire game. Like, we already got 2 air jabs, I think at least 3 buck shells, and looks like also Vij using some bullets to get rid of Zerfon. The immediate headshot. Also seeing the castles starting to fire some shots, getting to a nice gunfight, but looks like the castle's going to start playing a little bit more reserved, and Arms starting to push through all the Hibana pellets, being able to start shooting down the hall and also potentially throw a grenade, but does know there's a Jaeger, so the success rate of that might be a little bit low. As Vij also starting to push up more, and Firewall forced to get pushed back all the way back to Fountain area.
Yeah, absolutely. Firewall in a pretty tricky spot here. Doesn't have anyone playing on his east stairs. However, he doesn't seem to know that. Playing a little bit safe inside of Fountain, or just outside of Fountain, trying to waste a bit of time. Does hear the attackers inside of Archives, but not able to quite land the shots as he goes down. That's Vij once again, second kill of the round. Able to take out a little bit of hole in the floor, get rid of one of those ADSs as well.
Also, we're going to have the Maestro playing inside a bathroom, just giving himself an extra footing and a lot more range since he has the ACOG as well, just to hold this super long angle right into the window and catch anyone who just tries to overextend after planting. He's going to see the gun stick out and know that the plant is going off, and also call out for his teammates, as they probably might still have the cam there. Sophia holding off main door though, stopping any pushing, and Baka taking down Delaney and Alex headshotting Destroyer right back. Bach trying to rescue his teammates and try to push up onto the diffuser and take it down. 3v3, low health on the defenders. It's going to be an interesting battle, as Vij is just holding a long angle all the way from outside with the ACOG, and Arms taking down Alex. Vij taking out Baka, and just down to the Valkyrie here, as Vij will take down Bud as well.
Yeah,
PSU gets that round.
Such a strong angle to hold against anyone trying to rotate between sites like they just did. That's going to be a devastating angle, taking out 2 people by itself.
Like right there, you can fully see the devastation the second floor could impact to the first floor, as they spend almost all the resources on taking second floor, and I don't think they use very much just trying to take down or get that plant down and all that, and yet they still managed to do it with quite a bit of confidence. Looks like we're going to be going Ventilation Workshop here, and they're going to be taking that nice Buck, Zofia, and Hibana again.
Yeah.
This time as well, a Pulse is also getting picked up here. Also kind of interesting, so you don't see it too often on a first floor take, but the benefit of this is if he decides to anchor, he could try to predict where they're going to blast from above and try to throw a C4 and maybe collect a second kill. And also, it's, as you can see, in response, a 6-pick onto Dokubi as well, trying to just see if they can fish out any of the roamers through the phone calls, and great pressure and open that sound up.
The Dokubi definitely a strong pick, since they have the Zofia to be able to take out the castle barricades. Getting rid of the sledge and instead taking someone who can sort of deny the roamers passively while still being able to work on being a fragger, especially with the addition of actual frag grenades to Dokkaebi. Definitely a smarter pick there.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how the Dokkaebi plays, because I've seen a lot of people get all excited that Dokkaebi has fire grenades, but I don't know. Personally, I still like the smokes better on her, just because she's more like a support op. You're not really, she's not really like, her weapons aren't really made to just, you know, be the I'm gonna just go run in and just shoot everyone type of character. As the secondary, one of them has heavy recoil, and the other one you just can't see what you're shooting half the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely a character you would kind of depict more as a support character. And it looks like she will be taking smokes today. Today as kind of filling out that support role for the team and keeping the planter safe as they go for the plant.
Yeah, and it seems like they will need to be a little bit careful, as the Jaeger ADSs will be a bit of a menace to those smoke grenades and frags from Buck as well.
Yeah, it looks like he's already in CCTV, just taking over his or claiming his territory and taking over. But Alex, trying to get some intel from below, does see the two pings and will be getting shot, trying to recover and figure out where he is, and getting shot from. Turns out Dokkaebi is just propelled on top of detention, sees him through the small little hole and starts shooting. Paul's lower down to low health and afraid because he's a little bit disoriented of where he's getting shot from.
Yeah, it's a very strong start to the round, being able to take them out that quickly. Especially being able to take out the castle playing up above on second floor. That's Destroyer taking out Bud, D2 taking out Firel. That's already the roam off the board for ASU here.
Minute 30 seconds, they took second floor. They are going to be probably thinking they could either try to just close it out here or take their time, relax, and try to like get as much as they can off of these holes and really try to maximize on the time they're giving, because that is quite a bit of a lead.
Yeah, we're seeing a very strong execute here. However, a little bit of an aggressive peek from the Zofia Vij. However, Zerfon not quite able to hit the shots back as well. It'll be no harm, no foul. Arms doing his best to take from a little bit of second floor clear, breaking some holes in the floor, as Destroyer picks up a second for himself in the round, and make that a third. He is unstoppable right now.
It's all down to Zerfon all by himself. He really tried to show the defenders, or attackers, that he doesn't care about their ceiling holes. He'll peek through them anyways. Being able to take down the Buck there. Now down to a 1v4, trying to clutch out for his team, but unfortunately, Zerfon gets taken down, and PSU just is able to take map 2 there, and that's a win for PSU.
Yeah, a really nice job from PSU all around, taking both maps 7-2. Very strong showing on both here. However, well played from ASU as well. They definitely started adapting their strategies and starting to pull back some rounds, albeit just a little bit too late.
Yeah, there was definitely some good plays going on from ASU side. Unfortunately, PSU just dominating on top and showing that they are, even though it's a new year and some people may have graduated, they are still a dominant team more than ever.
Yeah, and looking at the scoreboard as well at the end, 2 people on PSU with more than 10 frags apiece. One with 11, one with 14. That's quite a heavy amount for each of them. Distribution on that map definitely being a little bit more favored towards them.
Congratulations again to PSU for taking their first, I believe this is their first game of the season?
Yes.
And being able to be very dominant at it, taking that nice early lead for the standings for the tournament.
Yeah. All right. Well, as far as the match goes, Consulate 7-2 in favor of PSU. Border 7-2 in favor of PSU as well. Overall, some pretty strong showings there as well.
Yeah,
all around, well played.
Both maps, you could see PSU just dominating early on, and ASU starting to like catch what they're doing, catch on to what they're doing, and starting to counter a little bit, winning some more gunfights. But fortunately, PSU just manages to keep pushing through that and manages to win both maps 7-2.
For sure. I'm interested to see where both of these teams go in the rest of the season. PSU is going to be whether or not they can keep this lead they've set for themselves. ASU is going to have to try to bring themselves up and show PSU what they're ready to bring to the table. So yeah. I think if these teams meet again, that'll be an interesting matchup to see later on in the season.
Yeah, for sure. Especially since now ASU, since it's early in the season, they still have a lot of time to go over what went wrong, what they could fix, and maybe even tweak a couple strategies a bit better and kind of just optimize on how things went and improve.
And the same goes for PSU as well. They can look at the rounds that they did drop and see about how they can make those a little bit better, possibly bring it up to 2-7-0s if they really want to spice up their gameplay.
Yeah, for sure. Get that nice round difference in going, and that will be it for tonight's match. And believe there will be a stream tomorrow for another match. And if I could just grab who that will be, it'll be another Invite Liga match apparently too. So definitely two very, very strong teams, and we'll be showing exactly what they're made of as they push through.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they have to bring to the table tomorrow.
And yeah, thank everyone for watching, and hope you come in and tune in tomorrow for tomorrow's match. And have a good night.